sitting there, Roger brings me up, and I hadn't said a word. And this motherfucker, Brent, starts spewing my name. Like I'm not even there. And I'm like, wait, hold on. I had to ask him, bro, you talking about me? Because he's saying Jay, because there's a lot of Jays on this app. He's like, yeah, I'm talking about you. I know we don't get along, we don't like each other, all this other shit. But, I'm like, bro, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. You're a fraud. I said, I tell you what, I dare you to sue me. He one time threatened to put people on no-fly lists. Imagine that. You got that type of power, yet you're on Clubhouse all the time. You're going to put me on a no-fly list? Be my guest. I'll take the train. I don't give a fuck. You're a fucking fraud. Oh, my God. And I tell you, Andy, I'll tell you this. I've done this app since the very beginning. I remember when it's people like him that ruined this fucking app. Him, Soren, so many others. But I remember back in the day, when you claimed to be something, you had to bring receipts to prove you were that something. Bring the fucking receipts. And I told him, hold on, Hermes, hold on. I said to him, you prove it, you speak Hebrew right now, and I'll shut up and I'll leave the app. He left the room, because he's a fucking fraud.
Jay, let me ask you something. Isn't it a criminal, isn't it a crime, a felony to pretend or to say that you're a judge?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one in a clubhouse. I don't know. What's up, Time Mark? I have no idea, bro. He could be whoever he wants. He could be Thurgood Marshall. I could care less. But when you threaten my friends, and then you don't understand why I don't have your back, like what planet do you live on, bro? Like, why? Listen, you don't have to like Kelly. You don't have to get along with Kelly. But what happens to what stays on this app stays on this app? Why do people have to take everything, internalize it, and then make threats?
Oh, no. Andrew Meyer went on, does anyone remember that's a very famous podcast. He went on the podcast to talk about me on a nationally syndicated podcast. Like, these people are batshit crazy. Listen, I don't fuck around with crazy. You show me signs of crazy, I am leaving you the fuck alone. Like, I'm a mother of two. I don't have time for this. So, Jay, I just think it's unresolved mental health issues that we're dealing with. It's weird.
Yeah, I agree with you. It to me, when I see people like Brent, that's mental illness.
It's just weird to me how when you poke the bear and the bear bites back, you cry victim. He's a perpetual victim. It's not just him. There's so many other people on this app that play the same fucking role. Right? And I swear to God, I had a nice conversation with Roger about trying to just be nicer to people. Forgive people. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And then I go on the stage and you got this piece of shit talking about me.
This piece of shit!
I don't know, man. Listen. Thank God he didn't sue Kelly or Roger or any of Rohan. But we got people like Soren, who puts Rohan's daughter's information, announces it in a room. Why would anybody, mental illness or not, why would you fucking do that? Talk about somebody's kids. Put them in danger.
You asked, like, why do those people continue doing that? I think it's because I'm talking about all of us here, we're not holding these people accountable. We just create a room like this room. We talk about it. But I think maybe we need to start holding people accountable. That's what I had to do, Jay.
Wait, Hermes, what does accountability look like to you?
Well, when that shit went down with me, eventually I had to call the sheriff. I had to file a police report, and then I got my attorney involved. And once my attorney made contact with these 3 individuals who started the bullshit, then it went away.
A lot of this also depends on the state that you're in. Because in my scenario, JB, what I did is I just filed police reports because I wanted it on record. I just every time a harassment issue with said individuals, it was bad shit crazy. I took screenshots and sent that shit to the police. So I have multiple police records open. I for the women in the room, I have no answers. My JB and the men can, they can fight their own battles. For the women in the space, when you see crazy, just move around because it's not worth it. So
let me tell you something.
I call the police.
Let me tell you something. Yo,
The
Roland,
police?
I invited you up because I'm fed up. I like legit. When you threaten people with frivolous lawsuits, fine. You pretend to be a fucking lawyer or a judge or whoever the fuck you are. To me, you've had stage 4 cancer for 18 years now, right? You were part of IDF, all that bullshit. Never served a fucking. Can't speak a word of Hebrew, but you're a fuck.
I think there should be a space between the last word
What about
and the
it,
sentence.
Randy? What about a ...
No.
Why?
No. I mean, and because I feel like it's too compressed to have a question mark right after the word. It feels a little too much information per square inch, per dot.
What's going on? Get in here, the first thing you hear is Soren. Oh God, we're going to find something intelligent to talk about.
Well, I was talking about Brent calling me a pedophile today.
Brent?
Brent, the fake judge.
Oh. Well, I mean, everything that comes out of his mouth is the truth. We know that. Right?
Yep.
That's fucking disgusting. Look, there are reasons why I have him blocked, and I barely block anybody, but you've just given me one more reason.
Well, see, here's the thing, Roman. When we have these conversations, I don't take them with me offline, right? I leave them right on Clubhouse. I don't think about them again, maybe till the next time I'm on Clubhouse. But one thing I do stand on is my friendship with people and loyalty. Right? Loyalty is not a word, it's a lifestyle. Either you're fucking loyal or you're not. And loyalty has to be reciprocated. Right? Like, you're my friend. I know if somebody's bashing me, you can be like, let's not do that. Kelly the same way, Roger's my friend. So when he threatens to sue people, I'm going to have your fucking back. What's up, Ash?
What's up, brother? I love the conversation, and I mean this question in the most respectful way. You have like a mentality mindset. What do you think about testosterone replacement? Is that something that people should be on if they're low on T, or should they try to go about it now?
I'm moved him. We don't have time for this.
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
He's insinuating that you have low testosterone.
His mother didn't complain. I mean, what's the problem?
Did you hear that?
Obviously, that must be a Brent acolyte. And I'm sure Brent's in here with a fucking burner, and that's fine. Brent, in my opinion, you're a fraud, you're a fake. And if not, somebody please relay that message that I said that, in my opinion. I don't know, Rohan, when somebody says they served in the IDF, but they don't speak Hebrew, they served in the IDF Intelligence Division, but they don't speak Hebrew, does that sound kosher to you?
It basically is kosher as a pig on the barbie, right? It does not sound right. I don't know of any, I don't know if any individuals that come across that have said they've served in the IDF who can't speak or understand Hebrew. At least understand a little bit. I don't know, what about you, Jane?
I did not serve in the IDF.
By the way, Rohan, I had opened this room in Healthy Debates. Jane was in there with me. The room was open for less than a minute, and it got closed by Clubhouse.
What?
Oh yeah, weird.
They just shut down, and then it wouldn't allow me to open another room in Healthy Debates.
Oh, goody. That's fantastic. I've got to laugh a little bit.
Why
Okay.
don't we have like a sense of community on this app? Like, no one would do this in real life. Like, I don't understand. For some of this egregious shit, I don't understand why we don't band together as a community.
Yo, MG.
Is that too much to ask
MG,
for?
hold on. Let me just.
Actually, what are you suggesting?
She's right though, Rohan. Because you know how many times I've gone to bat for people, and my so-called friends just sat on the sideline. I'm not talking about you or MG. MG is a real deal, loyal friend, right? But many other people will sit in a space with fucking Brendan, let him call me a pedophile, and not say anything about it.
Jesus Christ. When did this happen? How did you happen to be in the same room as him to start off with, Joe?
I wasn't. What happened was, we were in Roger's room. Roger, him and I, Brendan and I disagreed. I said what I felt. He said what he felt. Then he left because that's what he is. He's a sole little bitch. Opened his own room and went in there and started talking shit about me. And I was getting multiple messages offline that he's calling me a pedophile.
Wait, Jay, did you mention the part to Rowan? Are you aware that Brent's supposedly trying to sue Kelly and Roger?
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, that Brent's trying to sue, supposedly, allegedly suing Roger and Kelly for being homophobic, I guess? I guess that's what was said. Right?
Oh my God. Look, honestly, I would not believe anything that comes out of his mouth.
Do you know what the whole thing was? You know what started this whole thing? This is how fucking trivial this piece of shit is. There was some house cleaning issues and healthy debates. And Rohan became an administrator. I was supportive of it because Rohan's my friend. I like him. I respect him. He runs some of the best rooms on Clubhouse. And I had no issues with it. I didn't give a fuck. As long as I build my rooms and be supported by my friends, that's all I give a shit about. He got upset because he wasn't made an administrator. And then he started threatening people because he wasn't made an administrator. Matter of fact, I think his exact words were, if you don't make me an administrator, I'm going to sue you. Who does that?
Very sensitive judges.
Again, unresolved mental health issues. Some of these people don't have real friends in real life, Jay. Like, this is just unresolved
That's
mental
not true.
issues.
I have many friends in the real world.
It's not even
But they don't talk to me anymore because I'm here talking with you all the time.
Exactly. Listen, like I said, Kelly and Kelly's kicked me to the audience, told me I was a fucking idiot. She was probably right. But the next.
But how do we know you're not a pedophile, Jay?
It's Roger's house. I'm a fucking guest in their house. They give me the privilege to open rooms in their house.
You need to call this out.
It's bizarre to me.
We're
And
doing the best we can, Alan.
I agree with you. There's some good people on this app. Rohan, you, Norm, Kelly,
John,
Edmund,
Adrian.
People I trust. I trust you guys. Right? But some of these motherfuckers are so hypersensitive and internalize everything. It's ridiculous already. Grow up. Let me tell you something. I have a past. I've spoken openly in my past. Mace has a past.
Uh-oh.
But you know what? I guarantee he's not the same man today as he was 20 years ago. Who the fuck am I to judge anybody? This dude got ran across the rakes all over this fucking app. It's bizarre to me.
Why don't we have a sense of community? Like, I don't understand this.
What does that look like to you?
Community.
Well, when you're doxing people's daughters, I think that's a red line. Like, I'm not talking about random, I don't like you, you don't like me. I'm talking about the most egregious shit. Like what they did doxing Rohan's daughter. Like, why is Soren allowed in Jewish spaces? Like, why are you here? Like, no, you shouldn't be allowed in anybody's house. You shouldn't just be around, period. Like, we don't hold these people accountable. This would not fly in real life outside of the metaverse.
Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty simple what Jay was just saying, is to go out to the people who actually have administrative powers within those rooms and to put a permanent block on people like Brent and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, what is this?
Here's the problem, guys. You ready? Too many people are too nice on this app. They forgive and they forget. Until it happens to them. Then they're like, you know what? Crazy JB was right about this person. Too forgiving. Thirsty for conversations, Rich.
Oh, no, I know.
Conversation.
Most of the people on this app are either autistic or narcissists. They just want to be out in front and they want to be like the number one and want everybody to surround them and listen to all their words and cling to them. I happen to be one of the autists, so, sorry.
let me ask you guys something. Does the IDF have something like stolen valor, like here in the U.S.?
I don't know what they call it over in Israel, but I would think that it's stolen valor when you claim to be part of an intelligence unit in IDF and you had nothing to do with it. You don't even speak fucking Hebrew, you asshole. Not you, Hermie. Let me tell you something. The things he has said and done, Rohan, on this app, if he really was a lawyer, I guarantee his ass would get disbarred. Guarantee. See, when he was making those threats to sue people, I said let him. Because then he has to reveal who he really is. He can't hide behind a pseudonym name anymore. He has to give his real name, his job, his information. Those threats are bullshit. He knows it.
Oh, you talking about Brent or Soren?
Brent, I think Soren's Iranian fucking spy, to be honest.
Yeah, Brent's given enough information. He lives in Sacramento. His spouse passed away from a vehicular homicide from a truck driver. That he's supposedly a district court judge in California. I mean, it takes like 30 seconds to look him up, and there's no information on the internet that would line up with what he's claiming online.
Wait, he doesn't have a beachfront property in San Diego and a penthouse in Los Angeles like he claims?
Yeah, I genuinely believe that this app is specifically created to keep all the narcissists and autists just stuck in this app 24/7 so they can listen to it.
Bro, my final straw with him, before all that shit blew up, was when he said, I'm going to put, not me, he was going to put somebody on the no-fly list because he has that type of power. Get the fuck out of here.
He lied about a beachfront property.
Yeah, he's supposedly not even a practicing judge. He's got like physical ailments and stuff that keeps him from actually being on the bench currently, but he just gets paid. And in essence, on like disability.
He told me he was an overflow guy, Rohan.
Yeah, look, from what I've read, and I might be wrong about this, but from what I understand, judges are not allowed in America. Are not allowed to be on social media. Is that about right?
Well, they're not. They're encouraged strongly not to.
Yeah, it's an ethical thing.
And especially a district court judge. I mean,
Yeah, but Rich, check this out, Rich. We have Supreme Court justices that are taking helicopter rides on billionaires' helicopters. So, you know, where's the line with these judges?
well, yeah, that's
David
what I'm
Cat.
saying. They're strongly encouraged not to.
David, what's up, David?
JB, you and me. Great to see you.
David, were you in Brun's room when he called me a pedophile?
Early it was no. I would not have stood for that. I'm sorry. When did that happen?
Well, if you were in Brun's room today, he said it.
I was there for like 10 minutes, but it wasn't his room. It was Roger's room.
He opened the room after that. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I had to go to work.
No, I'm not a pimp. I'm a former pimp. And just because I didn't pimp you out, don't be jealous. Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have stood for it. I apologize.
No reason to apologize.
No, it's ridiculous, and we don't need that here. You know, it's one thing to. I've been falsely accusing people of anything is wrong, and that kind of accusation would really piss me off. Let's just say that.
Well, in Rod's room, when he said I was a sex offender, I said, I'll give you $10,000 to show me where my
$10,000?
How about that? And he fucking left the room because he's a bitch. Because, let me see, hold on. Zeev Jabotinsky called him out also, David. But Brent claimed to be in the IDF intelligence division, but doesn't speak Hebrew. Does that make sense to you?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
He speaks Hebrew.
Maybe he does Google Translate.
Maybe.
Just kidding.
It's not just him, David. There's others on this app just like him. I'm just tired of him because he came after my friends. He can come after me all he wants. But when you go after my friends, I stand up. That's what friends do. MG stood up for me.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: you got people like Soren who doxes people's children. How the fuck do you? How do you live with yourself? Not you, him. No,
I know.
Putting somebody's kid in danger like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the world we live in. And, we were in Roger had a room last night. I was just there for half an hour, but we realized that, it was being broadcast on YouTube again with Edmund under like his 10th or 100th different alias while we were speaking.
Well, the truth for me, David,
he's probably doing it right now to this fucking room.
Playing all the time. He's live streaming. Who gives a fuck? I don't care about stuff like that.
And then everybody hates Adrian.
He's the one person. Yeah. So, but the thing is, I don't care about stuff like that. What I care about, if somebody came to me and said, David Katz works in here and his children live here, that bothers me.
Sure. I mean, you have to take a stand somewhere. It's your life and your reputation, and people get away with that, right? And then that word gets thrown around so much it has almost no meaning.
David, MG brought up a good point. Why is there no sense of community on this app when there's obviously really good people still left on this app? You, Rohan, Rich, MG, Hermes, Kelly, Andrew Tuddy down in the VIP section, Dude Cool. We got some good people on this. Why is there no sense of community?
I wish I could answer that. I mean, I have some community with you and with a lot of people that I trust. I think it can be it's fragile. It can be broken by just comments that are meant to denigrate somebody and bring them down that aren't true. And by the time you get to the bottom of it, or people believe what they want to believe, but some people are out to destroy others.
Some people get joy in just trying to destroy others. See, my biggest mistake I ever made on this app was just being real. I could have been the fakest fuck on this app and made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars.
Yeah,
my biggest mistake was it has happened. I've called people out. I've gotten back. David, you probably don't know this about me, but when I was Catch a Con, I was able to get $40,000 back in stolen money. True story. Different people. I helped this one girl, Slim, on this app, get back $5,000 the same day. Didn't ask her for nothing. Didn't expect anything but a thank you.
It's amazing. But who else could have done that? I don't know of anyone else.
The FBI.
That's what I'm saying. My biggest regret is just assuming everyone was normal, Jay. I literally thought everyone was normal because I thought I was dealing with.
You thought everybody was normal.
A bunch of narcissists and unresolved trauma and all this other, extra bonus shit that I didn't account for. That's my biggest regret. So now, you got one time with me, I block and move on because this is too much.
Jay, who's in the room at the time, and do you have anybody that have you made a list of people who could actually?
Well, when Brent called me a pedophile?
Yep.
I could put a list together, but you know what, man? He can say whatever he wants, people can say whatever they want. I have thick skin. I don't care. But the point being is, people like him will go after people and have immunity to do so. Under a fake fucking name, a fake profile, and a fake life. You're gonna come at me, like Junior Soprano said, come heavy.
I told you better come heavy, Tony.
I was in Nelson Opinions room when he came after me, and there was 7,000 people in there. And you know what, Rohan? I stood toe-to-toe with every one of those motherfuckers. By myself. But there's other people, and good people. Listen, I'm not a civilian like you, Rohan, or like MG, or like Kelly. I'm a different breed. I don't come from your world. I come from I was raised differently. So for me, loyalty is not a word, it's a lifestyle, man. If we have good conversations and we strike up a friendship, you got my loyalty. But too often, too many times, we allow forgiveness into our spaces and we let these toxic motherfuckers in.
I'm just
Yeah,
waiting.
look, I'd
Waiting
suggest
for the
rather
kid.
people do the same. Let's, block people who are, of this type of character. It basically will, if there are enough people who block, people like this, then, but basically, they'll get on the app and they'll have nobody to go in, no rooms and so forth to be able to see in the hallways. Hopefully they can actually just leave.
Then they just get a new account.
But look, JB, as you know, I barely ever block anybody.
Fucking Edmund, except for
I've
Edmund.
never even heard you. I've
Probably most.
never even heard you ask anybody to block anybody. That was the first time I heard you ever say.
Yeah. Well, Soren's one of them, and look, I'm not asking to, but I suggest. Look, I mean, you have people who go around indiscriminately calling people names and accusing people of the most horrendous things. It's harassment, it's bullying, it's bullyish, and I suggest that people really look after themselves. People like that, you don't want them around you.
Why are adults doing this? That's what's so shocking. Half of us are parents and grandparents in this space. Like, would we allow this for our children? We would be up in arms. But no, they do this to other adults on the fucking app. It's the most bizarre shit.
Let me ask you a question, Rohan. I have a blue check next to my name in Healthy Debates. What does that mean? I'm a leader?
Yep, you're a leader.
Good. Because I don't know what happened, man. I opened the room, and like less than a minute later, they closed the room, and then when I try to reopen it, they're like, "You're unable to open the room at this time." So I had to do it in this house.
Right, what's the title of the room?
Frauds, fakes, and phonies in Clubhouse.
Wow. Okay.
There's a lot worse titles going on right now. Trust me.
Yeah, but nobody's name was put in it.
No, I'm not that dumb. I may just look dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
Was anything said, in that room?
It was just Jane and me. I just opened the room. It was open for less than a minute. It was crazy.
And nobody's name was mentioned?
Nobody's name was mentioned.
Well, that's totally freaking bizarre.
I thought I got clipped. Roger got suspended today. He got clipped again.
No.
What?
Are you serious?
Everybody loves Roger, but when Adrian Dimon gets clipped 100 times, nobody cares.
Well, he had a mass reported because Roger wanted to open the house. He wanted to have Roger open the house in competition with Deep State Patriots, those frauds, and Roger got clipped.
Unbelievable. Who has time to mass report? I don't understand that.
That's why when I say to people, and I'm just going to use names, just throwing out names. People, David, if you go into Deep State Patriots, by supporting these spaces, you're supporting the toxicity these people bring to the app.
I don't need that in my life. And I don't know why Roger decided he wanted to have these rooms that took topics from other rooms and debated them in a lighthearted way. It didn't sound, I don't know. And so he mentioned Mendelsohn, and after that, he said, I'll even have Mendelsohn come in the room. Everyone's welcome. Everyone, can speak their mind. And it didn't sound like a fun time to me.
Yeah, same here. I wasn't really into it.
I like Roger.
Of course, yeah. But that's crazy.
Everybody loves Roger, but everybody hates Adrian.
It was daytime. Or doesn't Ben live overseas? I'm just trying to think what goes through someone's mind to sit there.
First off, hello, Holly. Second,
hey.
Ben is allegedly, because I always have to say allegedly on this app, married to a diplomat who looks like a transgender. Not that he's a transgender, but his wife looks like a man. And alleged, so he's a pseudo diplomat himself because he's married to one.
Also, NG, there has been instances where I have got people kicked off the app, but that's only like anti-Semites and people that dox people. But for me, it's pretty easy to do with my 800 accounts and have them all in the room.
So let me just say this real quick. So Kathy Bastet, whatever your fucking name is, I'm sure you're Edmund on one of your burners. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Dude, I don't give a fuck that you live stream. Nobody pays attention to you anyway. You get one person on there. It's probably your fucking split personality watching it. So, yeah, okay, it's not you. Meanwhile, you're part of this house. It's just bizarre. The mental illness on this app is way out of control.
Somebody's upset.
Meanwhile, as soon as I called him out, he fled. He says it's not me, but he leaves. You call me out on Sudden Energy, I'm coming up on that stage.
And you're right. We have to stand up for each other. I mean, whether you like the Tesla rooms or not, we've self-policed them. And the handful of times we've had people who went after others unfairly, attacked their children, we got rid of them. And none of us needed it. And that's the only response.
Bro, I heard today, I was in a room, and people were going ape shit about Elon Musk making a Nazi symbol. I don't think it was a Nazi salute. He's he's autistic, and he got caught up in the moment. And I'm not an Elon Musk lover or anything. Right. I'm just saying, bro, people were going ape shit over this. And if you stuck up for him, you were getting kicked out of the room.
Yeah, my father's a Holocaust survivor. I looked at what Musk did, and believe me, I know Musk. He's good, he's bad, he's evil. There's many sides to him. I drive his fucking car, okay? And that part's been great for me. And I made many friends in his rooms up here. But I went to see his speech, and I can tell you I know a Nazi salute, and that wasn't one.
Yeah, and in his defense, he did say, "My heart goes out to you," and placed his hand upon his heart and extended out to the crowd. And he like you said, he's autistic. We are awkward. I don't know how many times I've shaken somebody's hand and stood there and shaken their hand when I was younger for an additional 30 seconds and been like, "Oh shit, I should stop this." If they're looking at me weird, why do they have this odd look on their face? Like, or like the first time that you find out, because I used to not make eye contact when I was a kid because it makes you feel uncomfortable. And one of the worst things my dad did, well, best and worst things, was to teach me that, to be a man and to be a businessman and all this kind of stuff, you need to look the person in the eye when you're shaking their hand. And, the long gaze and stare for 20 seconds isn't appropriate. You make eye contact for a few seconds and then break it off.
Well, let me just say this. The best way to have a sense of community is not support these rooms, not support these people, whoever they may be. If you don't go in their spaces, nobody's there to talk to. They don't have fucking rooms anymore. Nobody's going in. Listen, I know Holly for a few years. She's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, but she's like my little sister, right? But so I have to forgive her because she's harmless. But Holly, you support some of these pieces of shit. You're breathing life into their toxicity.
Well, speaking of that, Rich, why do I have you blocked? I think you were being an ass to me in
Probably was. Oh yeah, it was a abortion conversation and women's right to choose and all that.
Oh, I don't remember, but
I drug you through and said that you were a barrenless bloom and all that kind of shit, and then you're like, "I have kids," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, why were you being such a dick, dude?
Because I think that it's murder.
Well, so do I. I don't know why you were coming for me like
Rich,
that.
Rich, just be
I'm sorry.
Apologize.
I apologize for being mean and rude.
Okay, I'll unblock you.
To Yoruba, Bawani, piece of shit. I do know autistic people because I've been medically diagnosed as having Asperger's, so is my father and my oldest son. And yes, people, why it's called a spectrum, are different. So if your nephew or cousin or whoever doesn't have those characteristics or signs or symptoms of autism spectrum disorder, doesn't mean that other people don't. Also, you have low-functioning people that sit and dog back and forth and cry and are non-verbal as well. You have people that are introverted, extroverted, so just stay in your line.
MG, you there? Rohan,
Yes.
you there?
I am.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Sorry, I had to use the word dobbing.
Reasons why we have such a large immigration problem in California in particular, but that's just me. And obviously people might have other opinions, but that's just mine.
Very high level discussion you're having here, Christian. This is like public radio quality discussion.
Yeah. Now
I agree.
I mean, my mind was blown in a big
Randy,
way.
at his age, I wouldn't have been able to hold court like this when I was at,
I don't know Christian's age.
I'm 14.
No way.
Serious.
You're 14.
Seriously.
Yeah.
14 decades?
No. No.
One of the first times I met him, I told him I thought he was an old soul.
Dude, you're 14 and you tried to shut me down on how long I talked about the mamas and papas. You got a lot of nerve, kid.
Well, I mean,
a lot of nerve.
wasn't trying to shut you down. I let you speak the entire time, man.
I know, but then you had to, sidekick me,
Don't
man.
worry,
I'm
that
sorry.
happens to Randy all the time.
I don't let 14-year-olds do that shit to me, dude. I'm sorry. Okay?
We got off on the wrong foot.
No, we're on a good foot. I think we're on the good foot. Just, just respect your elders. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh, I do. Trust me,
All right.
Scott can tell you.
All right. Well, I'm older than Scott, so, do the math. All right. Thanks. You know your stuff, kid. I'll give you that.
Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate it. Yeah. And I think what happens a lot of times when we're on the topic of immigration is difference between illegal and legal, right? And I think it's very clear in my opinion, but some people don't, and I think I need to define it. The difference between an illegal immigrant and a legal immigrant is an illegal immigrant enters the country illegally, without documentation or etc. A legal immigrant comes through the process of giving documentation, waiting for asylum, and
To the drilling side, yes, it's ex-cons that are, on parole and stuff like that, and everybody's on meth and heroin, and they're all getting married to strippers and hookers and stuff like that. So there's like two different sides. Well, there's actually multiple sides, but the side I worked on, everybody's, good people and stuff like that. They're not a bunch of
How far is Odessa Midland from the Woodlands?
Limits in the we have presidential term limits, and also FDR is the reason why the Supreme Court has been limited to the amount of justices that we have, because he was also proposing to pass the Supreme Court as well. So,
and the political folks at the time had an uproar. I'll send you some of the newspapers. I've got some newspaper clippings from the time.
Has she man it down?
Yeah, man, like why you coming off the mic? Like, have some decorum with that mic, Marshall.
thank you guys. But yeah, I mean, I think personally we should take this seriously. I do believe that, honestly, I believe we are going to start hearing, realistically, talks of cessation from the country, of like states like California. All the blue states are going to start talking about cessation. I am so serious about this. I wouldn't just joke around, but I am in circles, whatever, that, and this could be a very real
She's in revolutionary circles!
The fact is, the blue states control the economy of this country. California, New York,
Civil War!
Washington, and Oregon control a good amount of capital that flows to the federal government. It is very plausible that these states will withhold their tax dollars if these executive orders, these inflammatory legislative proposals continue and the rhetoric continues to get worse, I definitely feel that this is a possibility. Gavin Newsom from California, I would definitely watch what he's doing because he's one of the first governors to actively, love or hate him, he is one of the first governors to actually float jokingly around. He is a performer. Gavin is a performer, but he is not. He has the elites that are behind him that are going to be pushing him towards, I think it's going to be a breaking point. It is going to come down in terms of the Supreme Court, the supremacy of states' rights versus federal rights. And that is what's going to tear the country apart. And that is what is going to be the beginning of states seceding from the union, so to speak. So that's my thoughts.
Okay. Let me just say this quickly. One second. Let me just say this really quickly. So, in order for an amendment to pass, you need 2/3 of both houses, and then a 3/4 majority. So he doesn't have that. So the amendment is not going to pass. Okay? Democrats are not going to go on board with this now. In 2 years, if things, I don't know, if miraculously eggs are free, I don't know, and people just fall in love with Trump, is it possible? Sure, but no.
Eggs! Everybody's eating eggs every day, apparently.
I'm not saying that none of what you said is possible, but I'm saying an amendment changing the terms is not possible. Okay?
Listen, guys, there's a slick way they thinking about doing it, and I'm reading it right now, and it's Black Freedom up here. I know, Marsha, you're an attorney. I'm reading up on it right now. And
Marshall's an attorney.
It's letting Vance run for president, and if Vance win, Vance resign and turn it over to Trump. That way Trump would become the president. So it's kind of I'm hitting and missing in the article, but I'm reading up on it right now, and they're saying that the wording of the Constitution is that a person can't be elected, but it's not saying that there's not another way that they could be put in.
People talked about this with Obama. Talked about this with Biden having Obama as his vice president, and then something happening to Biden and Obama becoming president. They can't do that currently.
We knew it was going to happen with them.
If I may, I need to clarify something. Sorry, just some house cleaning. This is simply a resolution, right? I'm reading the resolution. This is a resolution. It's pretty simple. It's a joint resolution. It's proposing, basically 3 terms. It's a very simple read, right? And this document was created January 13th. So this was prior to the inauguration. And we've heard talk of this, but this is simply a resolution. There's a whole bunch of take place. And it's introduced by this guy.
Robert, can we go ahead and read it? Because y'all love cutting off women when they speak.
Actually, you're right, because I wasn't.
Fucking A, motherfucker!
People cut me off, but I'm going to let them have that. Mr.
Motherfucker! Some of them be talking for 30 goddamn minutes now.
Exactly. Go ahead, Mr. Robert. You got the floor.
Thank you. I'll pass it right back to you. Pardon me, sis.
You can pass it back to Ahmad. I'm passing it to you. Thank you.
Can he not just pause and let her finish for real?
No, let him go ahead on April.
I agree. At this point, yeah, you can hold that thought, Mr. Robert. Go ahead. I will speak. The young lady that was speaking.
It was me, Mr. We Mars having. I don't even know why we got green beans, because people telling us where we could talk. But this was done by the guy from Tennessee, and it was just done a couple of days ago. So I don't know who he's talking about did it, But I'm telling you the way it's reading, and they're talking about the way the 22nd Amendment reads, and they're saying that he can't be elected, but it doesn't prohibit him from serving as president. And the way they're talking about him serving as president, you can go and pull it up and read it. So we could talk about what they tried to do before, but we're dealing with a whole different set of monsters here. We're not dealing with the Democrats. We're dealing with some people. Somebody put it in the chat, I guess. I don't know. But if things fall in the hands of the Supreme Court, guys, we're fucking doomed. And you know it.
Fucking doomed!
It's an amendment.
Okay.
He introduced a resolution to amend.
Okay, what did Trump do?
Well, no, it's not what Trump do. They're defended. It's Mr. out of Tennessee. I'm sorry. So you can already read it.
No, go ahead. No, I would love to hear this.
So it's the resolution. It says proposing an amendment to the Constitution, right? And it reads, a joint resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the United States to provide that no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times. Resolved by Senate and House of Committees and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled 2/3 of each house concurring therein, that the following article is proposed as an amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the Constitution when ratified by the legislation of 3/4 of several states within 7 years after the date of its submission for ratification. Article: no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times, nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. And that's it. Yeah, it ends there. So that's
But Lisa, what I just read, what he just said is one thing, but what I just read, I just read what the way that they said they could bypass what he just read, okay? He's talking about what the Constitution, what it says to 22. I'm telling you, the write-up that they got concerning the same exact thing and the way they're breaking it down. And if you listen to what he said 2 consecutive. That means back to back, okay? It would not be consecutive the way he's doing it, okay? Because he served before, he lost, and now he won again, okay? So now they're trying to get consecutive another term after this term, which would then make him win 3 terms. And the way they're thinking about doing it, like they said, can't be elected. They're not saying he would be elected. They're saying that they're going to have Vance to run. And once Vance wins, Vance can resign, and they name Trump as the president. So he would become the president. That's what they're saying.
Okay, so
that they're planning on.
What I was reading was the.
Did Robert cut me off again?
No, we the resolution.
Robert, here's the rule. Here's the rule in this room. Because I've been very patient with you, Robert. We all have. Here's the rule. As a mod, if you cut me off again, I'm putting you in the group. I'm telling you that right now. If you cut me off again, anybody else can do what they want to do. You will go to the group because I'm talking to Lisa. Lisa, the room belongs to Lisa, okay? So if you cut me off again, you're going to the group. I'm not debating with you, Lisa. I'm telling you the article that we both read. We're reading 2 different articles. And the article that I just read is the article that the way that the Republicans is planning on doing this. And they will be able to do it that way.
Okay, this is going down
Okay, remember you guys when we had these rooms starting a year ago, talking about what would be happening with Project 2025, and right now you guys have to remind me of the guy who is pretty much over Project 2025. We've been having these rooms, and they were talking about this, and they were setting everything up for this to happen more than just a year ago. We just started talking about a year ago, but it's been like what, a decade, and they were looking for the right person to be able to initiate or activate this. Who says it? Oh, thank you. It's not Stephen Miller. It's not Steve Miller. Somebody's sending me a message that it's Steve Miller. But it's not him. I need to go in and find out who it is. It's the same guy that's getting caught on camera.
Kevin Roberts. RJ said Kevin Roberts.
Yes, that's who it is. Thank you. So this has been going on and in the works for a long time, and then people are talking about they didn't believe it. It never happened. Closer? Are we totally? I would, invite you over. Like,
come on over, Jay.
You would be well.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, Holly. Once your husband sees how good looking I am, that's gonna be a problem.
Of course, right?
So, and I'm yeah. So, I don't know who McCandle is. McCandle, who are you?
I was here for David Katz, but how you doing, JB?
Oh, what's up, man? I'm not looking for any smoke. I just don't know who you are. You came right to the stage.
Hi. Is this a new handle for you? But I recognize your voice. Great to see you.
Likewise.
Is this Ish?
That's Ish.
It
Sounds
is.
like Ish.
Is Ish?
I mean, Ish is like a number one troller, JB. Like, I don't know. What do you?
Yeah,
what
but
do you
in
think
Ish's
about trolling?
defense, he is mentally deficient, though.
But hold on. Let me tell you what I think about Ish. Highly intelligent, right? Ish ain't nobody's fool. He might be a pothead, but there's nothing wrong with that. And Ish has said some vile, reprehensible things on this app. But Ish, I've never heard of Ish going after anybody's offline. Ever. Not one time, MG. And believe me, reports come back to me all the time.
That's true.
I'm sorry?
I said that's true. I guess there's levels to this. Like, I've never witnessed him just be egregious. Well, you have aligned yourself with anti-Semites, so there's that.
I think he likes to stir the pot. And he always takes the counterpoint. Always. You can say the sky is blue, he's going to argue with you.
What you're saying is contrarian?
Whatever you want to label him, Richie, be my guest. But Ish is a big boy, he can speak for himself. Ish, what's up, man? Long time no speak.
I actually can't speak. I'm in the hospital right now, and I got a roommate, and he just went through surgery. So I don't want to disturb his sleep, but I did want to come and speak to Cats.
Well, hold on a second. Before you continue, hold on. You're in the hospital? You telling me that syphilis finally caught up?
Yeah, sure.
You know I fuck with you, Ish, man. I fuck with you, bro. I wish you a speedy recovery, whatever the issue is, I swear.
What's going on, Ish? You have something to say?
Not exactly. I was talking to, well, yeah, I do have something to say. I was talking to my brother today about the Dominican Republic, and I was telling him that I know someone who migrated to Sosua. I know someone personally, and I wanted you to speak to him at some point. I don't know what point, but he just found.
I'll talk to him. Just to be clear, my father migrated from the day he left Germany, escaped a concentration camp with 80 other people on a boat on April 12th of 1940. They got to Sosua on April 20th of 1940. I was there 8 years. That was my father.
Yeah, that's amazing. So
Ish, have you been to DR before?
Yeah, twice.
I love it, man. I've been to Punta Cana twice. Fantastic people, fantastic food. Just a great place. Just don't drink the water.
I don't know anything about the water at DR, but I'll take your advice.
Bro, I got sick as a dog drinking the water there.
Oh, man.
I wasn't even, you know what, bro? I misspoke. I didn't drink the water. I was brushing my teeth with that water. It fucked me up.
I'm for brushing teeth. Well, anyway, I'm going to see if I can get my brother in here, but
Sure.
shout out to y'all.
Oh, thank you.
I hope y'all have a great room.
I hope you get better. Are you in the hospital for a reason too, or you're visiting?
No, I'm in the hospital for a reason.
We wish you better health. You don't have to tell us more than you want, but I'm sorry.
Nah, fuck that, David. Tell us what happened. What happened to you? I ain't gonna dox you. I don't got time for that. What happened to you, man? You bang your ding-a-ling?
Yeah, probably change your reassignment surgery.
Yo, hey, Shaka, are you in the hospital in Brooklyn? I'll come see you tonight.
Y'all funny today. I bet you would too.
Bro, 100%. What do you want to eat? Because I'm at the hospital. 100% I'm going. What do you want to eat, bro? I'll go down and pick it up for you right now. Tell me.
I'm good, JP. I'm good. I appreciate that. You a smooth criminal. A lot of you not. You're a very smooth criminal. But no. I'm good. What you call it? Yeah.
Are you medicated? Are you medicated right now?
Nah, not medicated at all. I'm actually tight that I'm not on medication.
Yo, let me come now. I'll start fucking banging some bedpans. I'll bring you fucking Thorazine.
Yeah, it's actually pretty wild in here. I didn't expect this hospital to be so eventful. So next door to me, they're like, or they were fighting. You had one roommate calling the next one a heroin.
You know, I always encourage people, hey, go to the bank and get a job as a teller, right? Go to Chase.
This is the first thing giving advice about careers to clown house people.
Who used to be the CEO of Chase Bank. Reed Hastings started at Chase as a teller, and he worked his way up to being CEO. So Chase Bank to this day has a policy that they want every employee to have a bachelor's degree, and they'll pay for it. You can go major in liberal arts. You know, but the caveat is that you had to get at least a C, which I think you can maintain, you know, because you're also working a job, but they would also pay for you to get your master's, but you'd have to get your master's in like finance or management or these other things. And if you did, then what they would require is that you spend 5 years with the bank, and if you leave within 5 years, you have to pay back the tuition costs. So I'm saying there are ways, if people really want to put their heads together, how to make this tenable and how to make this feasible in the best interests of large corporations, in the best interests of the states that these people are living in the best interests of the big cities like mine. Like I said, these people, you can't walk into a restaurant and not see migrant workers. You know, maybe there's just ways to tie an incentive to the labor and tie it back to the benefit of the community. You know, I just don't think there's enough political will, because the bottom line is it's still about cheap labor. You know, so if you said to like Target and Walmart, hey, you have to pay, you know, like here in New York, like if you work in fast food, there's a minimum wage of 50.
For one, mind your business. You don't gotta be the
Why didn't you mind your business instead of instigating?
They were already going to fight. I just made it real by placing bets.
Egging it on.
Because if Shooter got those places, they were setting up cameras and stuff, that was gonna be content for the rest of the month, right? And if someone lost, I got $100.
Just made me laugh. Like I was driving and I hear him say it, and I was like, you know what? It just made me laugh. It was good.
So you think, in all seriousness, Cam, of a more untalented, despicable human being that's become famous and rich than Greta Thunberg, who says she's for the environment but flies first class.
Hey, don't be somebody.
I was gonna say, I remember, she flies like first class and stuff. I mean, I don't have a problem with everybody flying first class. I just find it hilarious that it comes from her mouth specifically. But she kicks and screams about being environmentally friendly and stuff. Which I say, if you want to fly first class, that's fine. I just say, just be honest about it. Just say, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I be doing this for money, and I make a lot of money, and I fly around, you know?
Well, Kim, she has a new cause now. Now she's the biggest anti-Semite in the world.
Wait, is she really? Is that like what I heard? Really?
Her big spiel now is go Palestine.
I didn't know that. Really? I didn't know that.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. She got pulled out of a what do you call it, protest shit, and they were like carrying her, and she was all dressed in like Hamas fucking headband.
Has she been canceled?
Wait, who is that?
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Jeez. Has she been canceled at all?
No.
She hasn't been canceled. The libtards are running towards her as fast as they can, throwing money at that dumb bitch. And we're supposed to feel bad because she's autistic. I don't give a fuck if you're retarded or not.
Oh, I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, she's.
I don't care if she's retarded or
I
not.
don't really care.
She has Asperger's, and you should not feel guilty for her.
Dang.
Don't allow us to use that as a pass. Well, let me use it as a pass.
Well, she uses it as a pass. She gets away with everything. But I don't give a fuck how retarded you are. You're an anti-Semite, and you're a piece of shit. What's up, Rydell? Reset, David. I gotta mute you because I get feedback. I hear Holly's voice. So Rydell, a quick reset. We're talking about people who are just not good people. A, B, why there's no sense of community on Clubhouse. Like, I feel like Rydell, let me tell you something. If I had to make a 1A and a 1B for loyalty, MG and Rydell are right up there, 1A and 1B. You are not going to find a more loyal person on this app than Rydell. That's a fact. What's up, Rydell? Oh, right. Also, Rydell, Holly invited me over to her house, even though her husband's going to be there. I said, you don't want to do that because I look better in person.
I love that. Well, hello, and yes, we love MG. MG is another wonderful, beautiful, biracial, loyal girl. My sister.
Oh, I'm not biracial though.
I know. I'm just.
Was that inside joke?
My bad.
Okay, that was the inside joke from the other day. Okay, I got you.
Oh yeah, but no, absolutely. So what happened? What I missed? Where did all this stem from?
I got a little smoke for you. But it's not real smoke because you are loyal and I love you. I love you. You're my sister, no doubt. But
absolutely.
We were talking about why there's a lack of community on Clubhouse. And I said because people support spaces knowing that it's going to be toxicity. We had Brent today call me a pedophile. But half the people in this room will go to that room. Yeah, half the people in this room will go support his spaces. Which amazes me. And then we got people like Soren, who is Doc Strohan's daughter, offline. Doc's Norm, offline. And it's just bizarre to me how we support these spaces with these toxic people.
So I think that many of us don't know that a lot of this happens. I mean, I will have to say this last year, I just had a baby. My son's about ready to turn 1. I've got a 6-year-old. I work full time. My husband works full time. Most of the time it's background noise. I think a lot of us don't really know what's going on because many of us have kind of just gone back into the real world. I mean, this app was big during COVID. I mean, MG knows the drama and the wars we had on this fucking app from 2020.
Hey, I wanted to be left alone. I kept saying, leave me out of this.
Oh, 100%.
Folks kept bringing me in. I didn't want to do with it.
Same here. I mean, I remember being pinged into rooms and people were warning me about certain people, and I'm like, yo, I'm just a conservative. Put me down. But Jay, I think that there's so much going on this app, like one room to another, that if you're not in like a fixed, like concentrated area, it's not like back in the day. You know what I mean? Like I'm never on the app. I can't even wrap my head around what Brent just said to you. I gotta digest that one.
He didn't say it to me because he would never say it to me. He said it in his own room, and I had multiple people reach out to me online saying that he's calling me a pedophile.
Oh, did you ask him? I just like.
Now imagine, if you will, right now, because I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think you're the smartest person on this app, and I mean that only because I know you personally.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were a circuit court judge, federal judge, saying slanderous, libelous things online. Does that play into his credibility as a judge or take away from his credibility?
I need to know why he said that with somebody whispering in his ear. There's got to be more to this story.
Well, I'm going to tell you the story. We were in Roger's room. I came to the stage. I didn't say a fucking word. And he started attacking me. And what happened was there was somebody in the room under a pseudonym who called him out and said, hey, you said you were part of the IDF, right? And you were an intelligence officer for the IDF. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I don't pretend to be. But I would think that if you were part of the IDF intelligence division, you'd speak Hebrew. He doesn't speak a word of it.
Okay, so, I think I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm trying to digest all this. Wow. Yeah, I think there's a lot of emotion going on. I think people
Adele, don't be a politician now. Let's keep it real. Because when I first came on this app,
watch this. If he said that all on his own without somebody feeding crap down his throat, that's fucked up. And that's just a fact, especially without there being any proof. I don't know Bren. I've never heard him spout his credential. Listen, everyone on this app is a clubhouse millionaire, soda commodity, private school, private university, working for the government with a TS level 4 security clearance. I have learned this through this app. Very few people like myself who have been doxxed. You know, if we've been doxxed, you know what we do. Fuck it, whatever, it's already out there. But I don't really take anything that people say on this app with a grain of salt unless I'm doing business with them personally or they're coming, you know what I mean? I'm gonna meet up with them. That's the first thing, because at that point, you know, like, Jay, I already showed you my affiliation. You don't have to question me. You've seen me with Task Force, you know, our mutual connection.
By the way, our mutual connection, you can reach out to him right now, and he'll vouch for me every day of the week.
Oh, well, here, I PTR'd a picture with me and him at an event for the Department of Justice, so you know.
I know you're the real deal. But you know, right, Del? Back in season 1 of Clubhouse, when you claimed to be something, you had to bring receipts on that. Like if I claimed to be, if I was a lawyer, I had to prove I was a lawyer. Now, motherfuckers come on here. Excuse my language. It wasn't meant that used by Del. But motherfuckers will come on here and say they're judges and they own houses on the beach in San Diego and penthouses in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, they're living in a fucking homeless shelter in Sacramento.
Jay, I got scrutiny because I was proud. MG, I don't know if you remember this. I was proud to just be a good old retired, you know, housewife in Montana, right? People were like, oh my God, like, she has to be more than, you know, than this Christian woman, this Christian black woman that lives in Montana. Like, people on this app are fucking weird. Do you remember that, MG? They're fucking weird.
Like mental issues.
I undersold myself, Jay. I did the other end of the spectrum, and people were like, red flag, right? You can't win on this app. So my whole thing is an app. It's you meet the gems on this application, and when you do, you hold them dear and true. Everybody else is just like water off a duck's back.
Well, you know what, right, Del? I've actually met people. I met a lot of people. I probably met, let's say, 50 people from this app, and I'm friends with all of them still to this day. I met Norm. I met Marvin. Marvin's one of the most I've had breakfast and lunch with Marvin. One of the most intriguing people in real life I've ever met. Just a good human being. And I've made some really good friends off this app. But my thing is, there's still no sense of community. MG brought this up, and she's so right. Why is there no sense of community?
So, Jay, real quick, I looked it up real fast. So the IDF does not require for a person to speak Hebrew, but once the person, if they meet the requirements that are sufficient for joining the IDF, after they are in, there's a program called ULPAN, ULPAN, which is a program that they actually teach the recruits how to speak Hebrew. So even if he said, well, I joined the IDF and I didn't speak Hebrew, one of the requirements is that you can speak it adequately. You have to be able to be.
He doesn't speak a word of Richie. He doesn't speak a word of it, and not just that. Not just that, Rich. He said he was in the intelligence division. Yeah. Rest assured, my friend, you gotta speak Hebrew if you're in the IDF intelligence division.
You would. I guarantee one of the main requirements is to be proficient in Arabic and Hebrew. I mean, especially with their dealing with Hamas and the PLA and stuff like that. I mean, that's a huge thing that they would require.
Dude, Richie, check this out. After this room, I'll probably never speak about Brent again. But when you go after my friends, when he went after Roger, when he went after Kelly, when he went after Rohan,
he's a piece of shit. Yeah.
And I stood up for these people because they're my friends. See, I don't know how it is where you're at in Texas, or Rydell in Montana, or Wyoming, wherever she's at, or Holly down in Atlanta. But here in Brooklyn, loyalty's not a word, it's a lifestyle. If I call you friend, bro, believe me, I got your back. Even if you're wrong, I'm going to have your back.
Yeah, I think that's something that exists all over the U.S., but yeah, definitely here in Texas, too.
I think the problem with what MG had stated, it's a very valid point, and I think there's a combination of things. There's no camaraderie on this app. I think there's just been a lot of bad blood in the beginning. This app, people were laid off. People were scared if they believed the COVID hype. Sorry, I didn't buy it. You had a lot of bad blood take place. We were spending large quantities of time together. And people lied about who they were because they wanted to fit in. And then people were doxxed. And then people were wrongfully doxxed, or people were rightfully exposed. We can go in every direction and every extreme. This application, unless you're brand new and you're kind of catching in at the tail end, this app, I don't know, it's tainted, right? There's a lot of history within a short period of time, because we got we're talking 7 days a week. There were people on this application for 18 hours a day beginning of 2020. It was insane. And that kind of continued up until the end of 2021. The amount of crap that has happened is a lot. So Jay, my whole point is this. I think this is kind of a new experiment to the human sort of experience or human relation. I talk about this all the time. It's odd to me how much people on this app who I've never met in real life hold so much love in my heart, and how much I care about you. It's very, very, very interesting. So I think we are kind of experimenting with social media, relationships, loyalty, and kind of being authentic on an application where there's not a whole lot of consequences for behavior, if that makes sense.
100%. Let me just say this, and I agree with everything you just said. But Steve, before I go, Steve, I got you. Before I go to you, let me just say something real quick. So Beth came to my stage. Everybody knows Beth because this woman's in 9,000 rooms a day, right? But I'm gonna say this sincerely. This is one of the nicest human beings you will ever engage with. No questions asked. I've never heard Beth say a bad thing about anybody. She always leads with kindness. And the shit this woman's gotten on this app is beyond my comprehension. I have nothing but love, admiration for Beth, and respect. So I just wanted to say that real quick before I forget. Steve, what's up, Steve?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's always good to hear your voice. You're one of those people on this app that when you come into my space, I'm happy to see you, legitimately. You're a good man.
Same here, Jay. Was you talking about Brent, the lawyer / judge?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you what the deal is, Jay.
By all means.
All right. Well, here's what it is. If you don't bow at the intellectual altar of Brent Almighty, then you are in his way. And he will be condescending, he will be derisive, and he will try to let you know real quick that you need to follow along like a little poodle walking down the street. And if you don't do that, then you invoke his ire. So somewhere along the way, you don't agree with everything he said and how he said it, and you become the object of his derision.
Stevie, check this out. First of all,
You're right. You're absolutely right, Steve.
David, the only thing that whether I agree with Brent or not, you know why he's mad at me, Steve? Because I stood up to him. He's a bully. He went after my friends. You don't fuck with my friends.
Yeah, and you know, here's the thing, Jay. He views most people that he interacts with, even though he tries to interact with them in a way that's that he perceives to be polite. He's polite with condescension, and you know, you standing up to him was just a bridge too far. But it's really that simple with him.
Well, here's the thing, Steve. He can have a problem with my friends. They're big. They're adults. They can stand up for themselves. But when you come with some bullshit saying that they disagree with him because he's a homosexual, we all know that's bullshit. I'm sorry. That's just I can't stomach that. You know, there's a saying we have in here in Brooklyn, Steve. You can only shove shit down somebody's throat until they say they're full. I'm full, my friend.
There are some things that once people say there's no going back, and I definitely applaud you for standing your ground. I think, especially given how honest you've been, how open you've been about who you are, who you've been, and the transition you've made. There's nothing worse than when someone turns around and not only manipulates it to make it worse than what it is, but tries to stone you for something that you've kind of already given back to. You've already done the work, right, to kind of move forward from it. So again, guys, like on this app, I'm still trying to swallow the fact that he said that. I don't know him really well, so I don't know why I'm so shocked. I think maybe because of his close affiliation with Roger and Kelly. I didn't know that he was disrespectful to Roger and Kelly as well, or other individuals. So I must have missed a lot because you guys were a whole crew. You know what I mean? So
well, right
like
now,
Roger, Kelly, you, Normo, Hakima, Bren, like that was the team. So this fallout has got me a little sideswiped. So you got to forgive me. I'm tongue tied.
Well, let me just say this.
Yeah.
Kelly's a big girl. She stick up for herself. Same thing with Roger and all them. But,
and he sorry to interrupt. Just for clarity, he disrespected Kelly and Roger.
He threatened to sue them, saying that they were homophobic, which we all know is bullshit.
Wait a minute. Wait, Kelly and Roger are I'm sorry. What?
And Kelly, I apologize. I'm not trying to put your business out there, but, you know, every time we keep sweeping this shit under the rug, this guy gets away with more and more. Now he's calling me a pedophile. I'm done with all. Here's the problem. You know what the problem is right now? People like you, people like Beth, people like Dizzy Holly, who are forgiven, and just be like, all right, it's over, it's done, let's move on, let's sing Kuma. Fuck that. Because when you keep giving them an inch, they take a foot.
I'm still laughing at Roger and Kelly being homophobic. That's fucking crazy. The nice part, yeah, I will say I'm very forgiving. I've forgiven people who I probably shouldn't. I don't have the capacity to be mean. Or I don't know. I'm so into my real world and off of this application that I'm just like, okay, you're a face, you're a person. We can be cohesive, right? I can sit in a room with you. I don't need to bang it out with you. If you cross me while on the stage, though, I'll crash the fuck out and I'll remove you. Very few times do I get out of my skin. But what they said to you, now that's another level, right? So I completely understand where you're at. I think that's absolutely disgusting. I'm really sick of people actually throwing that terminology around. And to my understanding, to make such a statement like that while being a federal court judge, I don't think that's a smart idea given the fact that this is a social media app. There could possibly be consequences to things like that. So I personally, if I was a federal judge, I don't think I would actually be on this app. I'm gonna be honest with you because
he's here under a pseudonym.
I understand, but I'm pretty sure Bren lost his mind because he was doxxed. I met Bren when the whole doxing thing had transpired, and he was like livid and freaking out, right? So he's not under a pseudonym, right? Depending on who you are and who you know, people know who he is, and there are people who I'm aligned with who have claimed that the credentials are completely full of shit. There are people that I know who claim that they're not full of shit. I just don't have the time, nor do I care to actually look into this. I'm not going to, because in my opinion, that's fucking weird.
Rydell, let me just cut you. You don't have to even mute up. Let me just cut you off for a second.
Yeah.
I know people that met him in real life and said he's full of shit.
Okay, there you and there you go, right? And so and that's my point, because I can't swallow a federal court judge making a statement like that. That doesn't compute with me. That would be that doesn't add up. So, yeah.
Let me say hello to Beth real quick. Hey, Beth. Bethy. Well, I guess she's not there. It's not just him right now. This app went down.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Just hopping in, watching a movie, chilling out. It's cold here in Florida.
How do you, with all the shit you went through on this app, lead with love every day? How do you do that? I'm trying to figure myself out.
Like I've said many times, Jay, to people, you know what? Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But until you pay my bills, you're probably not going to affect me. I've made really great friends on this app. And a lot I've met in person. A lot I've done business with. And, I think it is. I didn't look at my screen to see who was speaking, but it is like a science experiment, right? It's a social audio experience. How are people going to react? What level can we get them to? And where is it going to go? And I'm just going to say, Jay, I have had rooms opened about me because I told people many years ago on this app, please, you are going to lose your job. You have no clue who is sitting in the audience. Just stop. Don't go that route. You're going to lose endorsements. I would never hire you. And people didn't like it when I said that. But guess what? They've came back around, and I'm working very closely with somebody that totally was like, you were right. I said, well, I don't need to be right. I just see what I see in front of me, Jay. And when I see things in front of me, I can either be nice or I can just be quiet and move on. Back to you.
Thank you, Beth. The question I have is, I don't think this community, I have friends on here that I consider part of my circle, but there's not an overlapping feel in the community. But also, why is there no accountability? There's no fucking accountability at all. You can say the most egregious, vile things about somebody, about their families, and 5 minutes later, you're in their space supporting them. Why? Why is there no accountability?
See, now that again, so we're back onto it's selective outrage, right? I've heard the justification before. It's there's not enough people on this app. You can't hold. It's not real. It's just entertainment. Justification. We all have also different standards and different lines. If you actually are convicted of something atrocious, or it's an active conviction, for other people it might be, I'm not going to talk to you because of your race, or I'm not going to affiliate with you because of your sexuality. I mean, there's so many different lines. So Jay, we would have to socially on this app all agree and have a standard. Right?
I think doxing someone's daughter, we can all rally around and say
that's disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm advocating for is just the most egregious of egregious acts, right? Not, Beth and I got into a cursing match and now we don't like each other today. That's not what I'm talking about.
I would pay for you not to have a cat fight. Okay.
That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about the doxing, the relentless bullying, the name calling people pedophiles. Like, wow. Like, there should be a red line. I'm confused on why we don't have a red line. We have red lines in real life, but not on the metaverse. But it's weird to me.
But MG, because it's not real, and here's the thing,
it is real.
No, but listen. There are people that are so desensitized, right, to the messed up stuff that we were all.
So now I gotta suffer because of their trauma.
I didn't say you have to.
So now the normal people gotta suffer because they're traumatized.
Bingo.
What is this? I don't know.
I'll tell you a good thing to as far as behavior, and I try and operate like this. If you say something in a way or convey something to someone that you wouldn't do if they stand there looking you in the eye, then you're probably doing the wrong thing. And the way I try and operate is what I say, what I believe. If you stand here or sitting in my living room, I'd look you right in the face and say the same thing I would on that. Nothing less, nothing more. Like I go into Gary's room a lot, and me and him will have exchanges once in a while. And Gary calls me out, and I've said something wrong. It doesn't hurt my pride or credibility. Say, hey, Gary, you're right. I was wrong on that one. That's the same way I'd interact with anyone anywhere. And I think what we got is got a bunch of people that get on the app that don't act like they would act with someone staring them in the face. There's a difference. And that's how I try and operate.
Let me jump in here real quick, Stephen. I agree with you, but I want to go to Scott. And Scott, before you unmute, let me just say this, man. For a while, I was kind of on the fence about you. I couldn't really get a feeling either way. But, man, after the last few exchanges we had, I got to say, I really like you, man. I got a lot of respect for you. Scott Jones.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you to say. Thank you very much.
I've seen you grown, bro. You don't have to beat up. I've seen you grown as a man on this app. Like, I've seen how you interact with people. It's grown leaps and bounds.
I don't know. I'm pretty much the same. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of facets to me, so I don't know, like...
I'm saying what I've seen, right? So let me just say this. It's easy on this app to disparage somebody, to put somebody down. I don't think there's enough praising and giving flowers. And I wanted to praise you, man, because I got a lot of respect for you.
That's very kind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I agree, Jay. Scott's someone that me and him don't agree all the time politically, but I think he's a good dude. And we can have interaction and be perfectly fine with each other, even while we're disagreeing. And that to me is what this should be about. And someone can hold a different position, and we can be cool with that. And I appreciate Scott for that.
Well, before we make this Scott admiration room, I want those flowers.
We can keep going.
I got you, Scotty. But let me say hello to Abby real quick, because. Let me tell you,
that's my best friend in the whole world. We're going to go to a hockey game together.
Well, then I can guarantee you, right there, I guarantee you she's getting you seats right on the rink.
I know.
Let me say this, and I said this to Jane earlier, and I said it before. The most intimidating thing on this app is a beautiful, smart woman. And Abby gets a lot of smoke because a lot of these guys are scared of her because she's smarter than them. So I just wanted to throw those flowers to Abby, who I have none but love, respect, and admiration for.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Today's my birthday, actually.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. You're 25 today, huh?
Yeah, counting backwards. I'm back east because I was at the inauguration. Now I got a football game on Sunday that we better win. So I went to South Philly. Scott knows what that's like. Best Italian food.
Wait, hold on, Abby. Hold on, Abby. Because I'm going to try to mooch off you. A, who are you going to this game with?
Right.
And B, where are the seats?
I got to be careful on my answers on this. I'm sitting in a suite this time. So I don't want to say. I just don't want to say, but it's
Say,
definitely.
I'm only 90 minutes away if you have an extra seat. Just
I wish on this I'm someone's guest, but anyway, hopefully we win. I mean, this is a big rivalry on Sunday. I don't know. Are you putting money on it?
I already took the Eagles in the over.
Well, Abby, you already know if Winnipeg and Knights are playing each other, I'm going to fly you out and I'm going to take you to a real Canadian whiteout, and then me and my husband will join you back in
100%. I'm so afraid of that whiteout that you do there. Shit, that is really intimidating.
Wait, what's the whiteout?
So the Winnipeg Jets, you have to understand it's the heart of winter in Winnipeg, which is Manitoba. It's north of North Dakota, right? So we're talking about the Midwest, and it's right underneath the Canadian Shield. So all of the Canadians go out in the pure, it's called a whiteout. So the snow will be going down so hard that the sky looks white, the ground is white, and all the Canadians are wearing pure white outside, cheering and preparing for the hockey game. So it's extremely intimidating because those Canadians on that part are cold acclimated. So like what would be like 10, 15 degrees in the United States, negative 11, 12, 13 in Canada, that's like a summer for these people. You'll have grown adults in normal white clothes.
Right now, you know she's not going to North Dakota or any of these other states.
No,
you know this, right?
For hockey, I would do this, but it's scary. Okay. No, if you see them on TV, it's like so intimidating. I can't imagine if you're the opposing team playing in that rink. The whole arena, people are in white.
Yep.
Everyone's in white.
Yeah, it's complete whiteout, and especially outside the celebration that takes place. So as the opposing team is coming in, you've got Canadians, just like a football game, right, Jay? Outside screaming, like it's insane. And just like Knights or Abby, who would you say is another big one? Like the Philadelphia, right?
Flyers.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's what it is for hockey in Canada, particularly Winnipeg. Like people are fighting. It's
fair. It's their total. This is their life. Like it's like it's like Yankees or Mets fans. Like
I'm a diehard Mets fan. Be careful.
Yeah, but it's like everything for them.
It's all about the Rangers, baby, and the Astros.
I got cut out, guys. Jay, David, Scott, it's good seeing all you guys.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you for your comments. Take care,
It's nice to see you here.
Let me say this before you go, Steve, man. Everybody follows Steve. He's just a good human being, cares about his community. Get to know Steve, and you'll definitely grow. I promise.
Well, thanks, Jay. There's a lot of good people on here. And like I say, I've met a lot of people that I don't agree with politically, but they're good people. I don't have to agree with everyone on everything to recognize a good person when I see one.
Well, Steve, before you go, let me say this, man. I've never, ever had a desire to go to West Virginia, but if I ever did, it would be because I'd want to come meet you, man. That's the truth.
Hey, me and Gary had lunch down here, Jay. It was cool. He stopped in and seen me.
Very cool, very cool. But let me once again wish Abby a happy birthday. Be good, Stevie.
Me too. He's such a great guy. I was able to have dinner with him. What a wonderful man.
Well,
So
you got to upgrade your life because come April, you're gonna have dinner with Roger Mayhem and JB at WrestleMania, baby, and then we're going to your house for Passover. Mazel.
Maybe a hockey game. Wait, Rydell, are we in the playoffs start when? Like probably mid-April?
Mid-April, yeah.
Mid-April, yeah. We'll be in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so our two teams, so you can get context on what she and I have been going through. Our two teams are back and forth with first place in the whole league.
Yeah.
So I think we've lost a few.
Well, my team sucks. I'm a okay, right now. I was just saying, I'm a Ranger fan.
Well, Abby, when you and I made that bet, here's the issue with the Jets. We had the first half, right, of the entire NHL at home. And then out of nowhere, our boys were on the road for 17 consecutive days, right? It was just like travel game. So we were just getting our asses handed to us. But now I think the Knights are in that situation, right? So it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. Yeah.
Well, before we continue on this hockey, let me say hello to Rena. Yo, Rena, man, your PTR, you look amazing. Just saying. But I mean, I'm gonna ask you a question that may make you feel uncomfortable, but I'm hoping you're drunk on your birthday. There's in my opinion, a fake judge on this app. Could a federal judge come on this app and call somebody a pedophile?
Abby, you know exactly who he's talking about.
Yes, I do. So I'm only going to, I could put it in the chat if you'd like, but if you're a federal judge, you cannot be on social media. End of story. It's a violation of it. It's an ethical violation.
Is this considered social media though?
Yes.
Yes.
I can put it, if you'd like, the rules for the bench in the chat.
Next time,
you cannot be on social media.
It's your birthday. I don't want you doing your research.
It's okay. That one's an easy one to find. But you can also look at the ABA. It's easy research. So that's the answer.
And impersonating a federal position is also illegal. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
Well, thank you, ladies. I'm gonna ask Scott Jones a question. Scott Jones, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Scotty, what's the name of your podcast so we can all listen to you, man?
I have two. One is called Give and Take, and the other is called New Persuasive Words. I can put links in the chat.
That'd be great, man. Let's all support Scott in his new mission in his podcasting career. I think he's gonna do amazing things. Miss Shirley, how you doing, Miss Shirley? Long time no speak.
Well, hello. How are you, hon?
Great. I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but I love your accent.
Well, thank you, dear. You're very charming.
I don't know about that, but I meant what I said. You know, Shirley, you could change your picture and change your name. I'd still know it's you just by your accent.
Well, that is true. I do recognize people by their voices for the most part on this app.
Shirley, what do you think
It's kind of amazing.
What do you think about Donald Trump signing an order today to release the JFK files?
Well, I'm old enough that I remember JFK being murdered, and my father thought that the CIA did it and the mafia. So I am a very old conspiracy theorist. So I figured we're going to find out soon. So I think it's a good thing. Let's see, who was it else? I want to know who killed MLK Jr. Anyway, just saying.
I mean, what do you think about President Trump releasing those files?
I think it's a great deal. I'm in. I'm all in. I think it's. I want to know what Abby thinks about him taking away Mikey's
Mike Pompeo.
security. Yeah, that's kind of. Well, I don't know.
I love Pompeo a lot, but I mean, there's lots of these executive orders are all over the place. You know, the birthright one, I think he will lose. I don't think it's constitutional. I just don't see it.
I missed that. Oh, the birthright thing.
Yeah, it doesn't fly.
I feel really mixed about that one too, Abby. I'm not.
Surely it's like there's just too much law and precedent and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. The only argument that he could make that I see any logic to is when we look at law, we look at the legislative intent behind any law. And if you look at the legislative intent, when the 14th Amendment was written, which it was written because of the Dred Scott case, you know, historically, to counter Dred Scott, which was such a bad decision. But the guy that wrote those words, those 6 words that are now the big issue, was, I think, from Michigan. And supposedly he published about what he was writing that it excluded aliens. You know, it excluded non-citizens, and that was his intent. So that would be the only argument, and I don't think it wins. But I could see them trying to use that, because when you try to nullify a law or you're explaining a law, you look at what led up to that law getting passed, and that's the verbiage, like the congressional record, things like that. So with the amendment, this was and I can't remember the guy's name, but I think it was from Michigan, that actually drafted the 14th Amendment in the 1800s.
Everybody, hold on. Abby, you know I'm not a Trump supporter, right? I'm not a Trump lover, but I will say this. I love everything he's done since day one. Everything. I wouldn't change a fucking thing. Excuse my way.
Well, the arrests that they made in Boston were kind of amazing in the last 48 hours. And that we've all been watching that. We've been watching, of all the places that they've had like a lot of criminal activity. Boston had, ICE had identified all these rapists, like of children. I mean, just really bad actors that were in that area. So I think that and you have a crazy mayor that's fighting it as sanctuary. But I agree with what he did.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But back to the 14th Amendment, I do think that's okay. People will argue with me. I don't want to say this to be argued with. At some point, it was speculated that there were more Hispanic babies born in Dallas than in Mexico City, and then there'll be people that will argue with you over it. I don't know if that's true, but. And if you take a vacation to the United States to have a baby, so it can be an American citizen, okay, that sounds kind of bad. But some of this stuff that they were talking about this morning, I don't think he's going to get that one. And I'm from a state where we have so many immigrants, and we none of us want the criminals, but there's a lot of people that have lived a lifetime in the United States that are not legal, and it's it's all kind of tough.
Shirley, I think the target right now is the criminals. I really think that's what they're looking for. I don't think they're looking for your gardener or my gardener. Like I just think it's the criminals that.
I have to agree with you, Abby, and
Well, let me jump in, Rich, real quick. 2 seconds. First off, before I go to Linda or Wally Green, who I haven't spoken to in forever, but he's a good dude. Amy, who are you, Amy? You have no friends, no followers?
I'm a French and I live in Canada. So I don't know what to say.
I don't even know who you are. I can't understand half the things you're saying. Linda, how you doing tonight, Linda?
She's with French Canadian. I was going to ask her what part of Quebec. Sorry, Linda, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's okay. You kicked her. So sorry.
No, not at all. Hi, guys. Good evening. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. And
Linda, I have to say, I always love when you come to my spaces, sincerely.
Well, thank you. I'm always glad to be here. And I have to say that I do agree with what you said, and then I agree with Abby agreeing with you about all the directives that Trump has signed off on so far.
I mean, he's basically has lived up to everything he said he's going to do from day one.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, contrary to Biden, who didn't do shit. I'm sorry. And I'm a lifelong Democrat. Now, I'm more of a centralist, but you know what
He was in the Oval Office signing at least past 1 a.m. the day he was inaugurated.
Hey, Jay, mind if I mention something?
Okay, Rich.
Yeah, so there was a criminal alien who had been here for like 20 years, and his wife and kids under the last administration for President Trump, 2016 to 2020. And they were sitting in the airport, and they were crying about how their father was being, deported. And he had been here for 20 years, and he's a business owner, and this, that, and the third. But they forgot to mention that 5 years prior, he was in a vehicular homicide where he killed somebody for drinking and driving.
a second, I gotta answer a question. Downtown Julie Brown. What's up, downtown? Long time no speak. She said it was some 30 years ago. Then Amber said, was Roger taken off that? Roger was clipped today, unfortunately. He'll be back.
What happened?
What?
What?
Yeah, Roger got clipped. And you people could thank Ben Mendelsohn for that. So when you go into that piece of shit space...
Seriously? Wait, explain what happened. I know he was going after Benny at, formed another house.
Yeah. So Jay, you're gonna need to give me and Abby a rundown of what the hell's been happening, please.
Listen, I can only tell you what I know. What I know is Roger was going to open a house to compete with Deep State Patriots. And from what I've been told, Ben Mendelsohn did a mass report and got Roger suspended off the app.
I know. Okay, I will say this. I know that Ben did not report him. Somebody else did. Because Ben, by the time Ben found out about it, because I was an emissary, Roger sent me to go tell Ben that he was welcome in the Shallow State Patriots and they would mod him. So I went to Ben and I said, Ben, I have a message for Roger. That Roger started the Shallow State Patriots. It's going to be an open-minded group, which won't censor people. He'd like you to be a moderator. And then, Ben said, no, thank you, and had a message for Roger, which I took back. But when I took back the message, by then, Ben had just found out about the Shallow State. So somebody else in the room, I think.
Scott, I gotta stop. Hold on. Scotty, I say this respectfully. I don't know if you've been doing Clubhouse long enough, but I know you've been on for a minute. Ben Mendelsohn's a habitual liar. I don't believe anything he fucking says. If he's saying somebody else said it, he's a liar. Okay? He's a piece of shit. And you're not allowed, if you have an opposing view, if you support Donald Trump and any of his policies, Ben Mendelsohn comes after you. He came after me. So I have zero respect for that guy. I don't trust anything he says.
I'm just relaying what exchange happened. Now, whether or not that's credible, you can evaluate. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I'm not vouching for the kingdom. Who knows? I mean, but as far as I know, yeah, that is how I what I witnessed in the exchange, because I was the go-between.
Who do you think did it then, if he didn't?
I don't know. I have no idea. And maybe Ben did though. I don't know. But I mean,
are we talking about the black guy Ben with the hat?
No, the dude that's married to the lady who lives in Africa and is it the Brazilian?
He's a pseudo diplomat because he sleeps next to a trans diplomat.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, so what grounds was Roger clipped? I'm confused.
I don't know. I just know he got clipped. Okay. He got suspended. Said he's gonna appeal the suspension, and hopefully he'll be back on soon.
Does Roger have a Telegram? Because if he can send us the appeal information, many of us can actually fight the appeal and get him on sooner.
Wait, Rowan got suspended also?
No, Rowan's fine. He was in this room a little while ago.
No, it was here.
But it's also 2 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning there, so I mean you can't stay too long. What's up, Wally Green? For those of you who don't know Wally Green is a world famous ping pong player. True story. Man's been all over the news, all over the world. Went to China and played ping pong. What's up, Wally Green?
Yo, what's good, man? What's going on?
See, I pay attention when you talk. Was I right about what I just said?
Yeah. What's going on? A long time.
Long time, man. Wally also owns a ping pong club in Manhattan where they serve beverages. So if you guys in the city, let's show some love.
Wait, where is this club? In Manhattan?
Wow. Yeah, so I have 2 in Manhattan and 5 across the country. So the 2 in Manhattan, one's on 23rd and Park, and the other one's on 49th and Broadway in Times Square.
Hey, so Wally, do me a solid.
You're great.
Hold on, Abby. Wally, do me a favor so everybody understands what I'm talking about and they don't think I'm just batshit crazy. Give us a 2-minute Cliff Notes version of who you are, where you've been, and what you are now with your ping.
All right. Yeah. So the name's Wally Green. Originally grew up in Brooklyn. Had a really crazy life when I was a kid. Gangs, guns at 13. Almost killed both my parents. So that kind of very toxic, severe family. Found the sport that I hated, which was ping pong. Took me around the entire world. I've been probably to every major country in the entire world, and I've also done diplomacy for world peace through sport in North Korea. So I'm one of very few people in the entire world who's been to North Korea. And now I own a bunch of clubs.
Wait, hold on. I have to ask you a question. I haven't met anybody that's been to North Korea, bro.
Yeah.
And by the way, people, what he's saying, everything he's saying is absolutely true. But Wally, how bad is the food in North Korea?
That's so. Oh man! When you asked that question, it just made me laugh because I just thought about something. So when I was there, they tried to give me Western food instead of giving me Asian food. Like, I'm fine with Asian food, but they tried to make Western food, so it was completely horrible. I got pictures of it. It's horrible. It's so bad. Yeah. But you just made me laugh.
How popular is ping pong there? Is it a popular sport in North Korea?
Of course. In every Asian country.
Right. I knew in other Asians I didn't know in North Korea. Wow.
Yeah. And you know, North Korea won a gold medal with, I think they played with South Korea. One Olympic. It was like not 2 Olympics ago. They won. They got together, supposedly for peace, and they won a gold medal together.
Well, let me jump in here real quick, Wally. So, for those who don't realize, this young man grew up in abject poverty, around crime and drugs his whole life, found ping pong, and now owns clubs all over the country. It's been all over. He's been to countries we only dream of. The only other person I know that goes to these countries is Abby. But, let me tell you something. Kudos to this dude to find the fortitude to get out of poverty. Good for you, Wally. Proud of you.
I appreciate you.
Wally, where else are your clubs other than New York?
DC, Philadelphia, Seattle, Boston. Am I missing DC, Philadelphia, Seattle, Boston?
Where were you in Philly?
Anything in Nevada?
In downtown.
Where? Downtown?
If you just Google Spin Philadelphia, Spin Philly, you'll find it. All our clubs are called Spin.
Really? I'm in Seattle. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, bro. If you get this young lady, Abby, it's her birthday today. If you get her to come to your club with some of her friends, your rent will be paid for 10 years.
Nice.
You're 5 blocks. You're 15th and Walnut. You're like right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, it's really close to where I am.
Well, now you got to go, Abby.
Yeah, for sure. This is something that would be great in Vegas too. I just have to tell you.
Yeah, we were thinking of Vegas a while ago.
Wally, listen to me, young man.
Yeah.
Miss Abby, I'm not trying to dox her. She knows I love her. Is a very, very influential, high-powered attorney in Vegas. If you're going to do anything in Vegas, connect with Miss Abby. She'll hook you up.
But it's interesting because we do so much with golf stuff and with pool, but I don't think we have ping pong that I know of.
Oh, cool.
So these are like clubs with bars also?
Full bar, full restaurant.
Like a sports bar kind of thing?
No, sort of, kind of, but not really like a sports bar. A lot more elegant than what your typical sports bar would be.
Well, you get any celebrities that support this or no?
Susan Sarandon is a co-founder. So pretty much every celebrity has been in my club. Actually, Prince, before he died, was at my club with what's his name? Jay Leno. There's a very famous story. You can just Google it. Prince and Jay Leno play ping pong. That's at my club.
Didn't expect Susan Sarandon, did we, Joby?
Say again?
Now, that's definitely a celebrity, Susan Sarandon. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, we haven't spoken in a while, so
yeah.
I'm not a Susan Sarandon fan only because she's anti-Israel.
Not a fan.
She's pretty intense. So I tell you a funny story. During the summer, she had said some really like intense stuff. And we were kind of like really worried because I was checking the Twitter pages, and then people were like, Susan Sarandon owns that bar. We shouldn't support it, right? So we were really worried that we were gonna get like protesters in front of the clubs and stuff. But luckily, she's a silent partner now. Not like before. So most people don't even realize she's a partner. But
let me just say this, bro, real quick. I know, because you and I have shared enough space.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that you're your own man and you don't support anything she has said. So you still have my support. You still have my love and admiration, and I'm still gonna come to your club.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. You're always welcome.
So, I know that you have nothing to do with her political views.
Yeah.
I'm totally checking this out tomorrow. I'm literally just a few blocks away. This is so cool.
I have to ask, Gabby.
What?
I'm sorry.
What did you have for dinner in the Italian restaurant?
Oh my God, it was great. It was, is there any Italian people on the stage?
I ran one. I'm German, but I ran one for 17 years.
So the owners are from Abruzzi?
Yep.
So it's Abruzzi food, very specific. So very unusual. It's great. I mean, if you know South Philly, there's lots of choices of Italian food there. But this was a lot of new restaurants on Passyunk. Anyway, it's very good. Like every city in the East Coast, Boston, New York, Philly, we have our Italian sections, and we do our food a little differently. Philly tends to be a little heavier than New York.
Well, Abby, I'll tell you this. Only because I ran a big restaurant in Little Italy in New York. It's not cooked by Italians. The recipes aren't even Italian. So it's bizarre to me, that they label that area Little Italy when none of those restaurants are owned by Italians anymore.
Really?
100%.
Like Angelo's in New York is not Italians anymore?
I ran a place called Di Gennaro on Hester and Mulberry. Great, I mean, the food's good, but it's owned by two Lebanese women, two sisters. The cooks are Mexican. I looked at the recipes, I'm like, this is not Italian. But people buy it because it's a Little Italy. Anyway, I gotta go. MG, David, Rydell, Beth, Abby, Linda, you guys want to keep it open? I got a boogie.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Nice to talk to you.
Guys, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, take care.
So Bruce is kind of middle Italy, but it's considered south. But it's
in the middle, right?
So wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I came back for one reason only. Wally Green. Can Abby drop your name at your place tomorrow and have her treat her like the VIP she is? It's her birthday.
Yeah, if she wants to go, just hit me up. I'll call for you.
Well, yeah, we'll go there tomorrow. I'm literally, I'll walk right by it. Is it open during the day or is it just at night?
No, it's open during the day too.
For sure, I'm doing this. Thank you.
Yeah. If you can just I'll send you my number or something like that, and then just tell me like what time you want to go. And if you're gonna go with some people or something, so I can book the table for you, because like the way it works, like people book these ping pong tables. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it's still fun. And then the servers will serve you at your table.
How many ping pong tables do you have normally at a location?
It depends on the size. So in New York, we have 15 plus a VIP room that has 3. So each venue each venue is different according to the size. In the Times Square one, we have 9.
I'm excited to see this. I'm just a shitty ping pong player. Guys, anyone on stage play ping pong?
I'm actually surprisingly good the more drunk I get. It's bad. But sober me playing ping pong, oh no. No.
Ping pong here, no. There's another thing we can bet on.
I love it, Abby. I'm so serious though. It's Jeff and I, we were just sitting here, we were just like, you know what? Like, we need to leave the cold. As much as we love the cold, don't get me wrong, love. We're both looking for a little bit of sun. So I can only handle though, Abby, the heat for so long because 70 degrees, I'm sweating, girl. So your state kills me.
It's not, I mean, right now, Nevada's still cold and windy. You know, it'll stay windy through March. And then, like, I just think of when people are out at the pools at the hotels and they start going out to the pools, you know, for sure in April.
Yeah. No,
But
fair
March
enough.
can get windy.
Yeah. Well, my husband is, his birthday's in August. And so the last time we went down there was for his birthday. And I almost died. I was like, I can't do this. And then we went to a Rob Zombie concert in 2019 in October. And we were laughing at how all of you, everybody, because it was an outdoor, you know, the Rock Fest that you guys do every year, the outdoor one. Well, Rob Zombie was the last performer, and you know my husband just adores them because the word, you know, the U.S. would blast Rob Zombie music right in Iraq and Iran, right, just to be bad. But anyways, yeah, everyone was wearing sweaters and pants, and I was practically sweating in skinny jeans and a tank top. It was brutal.
August is like, it's the problem with August. July's usually the hottest, but August you get the humidity, you know, because it's when the monsoons will start. So it's hot and you can get like a little humidity. It's bad time.
I can't do it. Yeah, just yeah. June, July, August, September is your guys' just sort of heat, like, let's 90 and above?
Well, June, it hit 117, it hit 120, I think, this year in June. Yeah. June, July, and August. But September is beautiful, usually.
Yeah.
But that's like 100 is nice weather for us. Like in the 90s, 95 to 100 is nice.
You hear yourself.
It's a dry heat.
It's really, I know it sounds crazy. Like mid-90s is a nice day in Vegas.
David, let me give you an idea.
It's a desert. It cools off in months.
David, I'm from Boulder, honey.
Oh, for Papa himself.
What, do I eat in a weird way in public?
No, I just said I like eating with you in public because, like, you enjoy your food and I enjoy my food and, like, we're enjoying eating food. Like, I don't like people to just sit there staring at the food. Restaurant food's expensive. You gotta leave.
Yeah.
That they can do this, mind melding shit, you know, and we just had no, like, you know, this is impossible to explain that, like, in physical or natural terms, you know. That would give some pretty good credence, I think. At least to naturalism being false, you know, at least it. Where'd Brother Josh go? He wanted to grill Sam.